What's up, guys? It's Six Man Sports, and today we have a very special guest, Hall of Famer, 11-time All-Star, first overall pick, 4-time scoring champ, and 2001 NBA MVP. Allen Iverson, welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
Great, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. I just want to say before we start, happy belated 49th birthday, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I just want to start off with a little hot topic recently. I don't know if you've seen, but Austin Rivers and some other sports players, they've been talking what's easier to play in, the NBA or the NFL, and to kind of go over
what's easier?
Yeah, from like an NBA player to go join the NFL or an NFL player to go join the NBA. And you were like great at both these sports, so this is a perfect question to ask you.
I have no idea. I guess a lot of times it depends on the player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, depends on the position, the size, the strength. It has a lot to do with it. To be a pro in any profession is hard in itself. So, whether it's football or basketball, it'll be a hard transition for anybody, especially at that level. So, I think it'll be hard for somebody to join either sport.
Either? Okay. And do you believe if you chose to stay on the track of just football and you left basketball behind, you believe you would have been a very successful NFL quarterback?
Absolutely. I had the opportunity. If I would have, stayed the course and trained the way, I supposed to be a football player, then obviously I would have had to, go through what I had to go through to try to be successful.
You think you would play QB or D-back?
I would rather play quarterback.
Quarterback. Makes sense. And so I actually read online that FSU was considering recruiting you both as a point guard and a quarterback. And so is this true, or is this something you've ever considered?
Nah, this is the first time I heard of it. So
okay.
You're the first one that told me about it.
Okay.
But I did consider that. That's what I wanted to do.
Both.
I wanted to play both.
Was there any school that was ever thinking of letting you do that?
I don't know about any school that was going to let me do it, but
you wanted to do it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have went to any school unless I was able to do that.
Okay. And senior year of your high school, obviously, bowling incident happened, and so after this, Coach John Thompson is somebody that gave you an opportunity, and you go to Georgetown. But quickly before we go to Georgetown, I want to tell me the importance of Coach Thompson, what he did for you, and how your relationship kind of built over the years.
Everything. He meant everything to me. He was a father figure. Obviously a coach, great coach. He was a brother. He was a mentor. He was someone that I idolized. He meant everything to me. Everything that's positive in a person, that's what he was to me. You know what I mean? He was. I consider him a gift from God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He blessed me in so many ways by putting Coach in my life. You know what I mean? And I don't think I would be here talking to you right now today if it wasn't for Coach Thompson.
Wow. And obviously, just those words show how important he was for you. And so at that time, right after the incident, and even in your initial years in Georgetown, there was a lot of doubt, there was a lot of speculation, and you kind of had to grow up out of all of this. And Coach Thompson was that person who kind of helped you through this. And so at Georgetown, all the hype that was there for you before the incident happened, it kind of grew back. Like you ended up averaging 20 both your seasons, Elite 8, Sweet 16. Like you became that guy again in a lot of people's faces and eyes. And so, and you head to the draft, and although you didn't ultimately win the Natty, you go to the draft 96 class, which we now look at one of the best, if not the best draft class of all time. It has you in it, Kobe, a lot of guys. And so going to that draft, you're going number one?
I knew, but I didn't know. You know what I mean? It's like you had those doubts because you go through so many trials and tribulations in your life, so many ups and downs. You know what I mean? So many disappointments, and so you really don't know. You had the confidence. You feel like you should be, But like I said, so many things that go left, and had went left in my life. You know what I mean? I really didn't know. So it was just a great feeling. When they called my name first, when David Stern called my name.
Kind of heading into that day, like Philly was taking your #1 pick. Is that where you wanted to be on the draft board?
Definitely.
And so when you kind of got that, like when you heard your name with the first overall pick, the Sixers select Allen Iverson, how did that feel? All the emotions.
I would be lying if I said I felt it right then.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, it was the excitement. You know what I mean? Because it was something that I was waiting for. I was waiting for that moment, but I didn't get a chance to soak it all in until afterwards. And you sit down by yourself and you sit and think. You know what I mean? Like all the things you've been through in your life, and this is the goal, and this is the dream that you always wanted. And then for it finally, to happen, then you start to reflect on how it happened and the people that helped you get to that point. You start thinking about, the positive things that help you, to accomplish something like that. You start thinking about your mom, your dad, your family, your friends, teammates, coaches that you always had, and then the support system from different people. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like you is a tribute to those people. You know what I mean? Because they were with you through the struggle, and then they never gave up on you. They always supported you and felt like you could do it. And then it was like sort of like it was a great feeling for me, but it was kind of like a gift to them. You know what I mean? For sticking by me, and it just made me feel good about myself because I didn't let them down.
So you get taken #1, and obviously, like you mentioned, it's not only your accomplishment, but it's also the effort of all those people that supported you from day one, who were there with you. It's also a day for them too.
Right.
And so you're going into rookie season with Philly. Did you have any personal expectations going in?
I think I'd be lying if I said that I didn't want to be the rookie of the year. Yeah. I definitely wanted to be the rookie of the year. I wanted to go to the playoffs, obviously. And I had, championship aspirations from the beginning. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you enter the NBA, it's just like with high school, you want to win the state championship. College, you want to win a national championship. And then once you get to the pros, and then obviously you playing with other pros, you think, why not? Why not this team? I mean, these are the best players that I've ever played with in my life. And, I just felt like me along with other pros, then the opportunity was there. So I had championship aspirations as well. And
so that rookie year, obviously, going in, you're entering the NBA, you're saying you're a rookie, but you're also playing with other pros. Did it ever hit you like, I'm playing with a guy like Michael Jordan, a guy like Karl Malone, a guy like Charles Barkley? Yes. Did it ever hit you when you're on the same court standing right next to him? Yes,
because, you're on the court with the guys that paved the way for you. You know what I mean? You're on the court with the guys that you idolize. Yeah. You know what I mean? That you looked up to, the guys that you had your popcorn and sat in front of the TV and watched in awe. You know what I mean? And then to finally be out there and to compete with them, you have that feeling where you starstruck, but then when they throw the ball up, then it's all over. You know what I mean? It's just, time to dance.
You're just in your moment. You're Allen Iverson.
Yeah, it's time to play.
Yeah.
Make my mark.
Yeah, and you definitely did. You've talked about the importance of Michael Jordan, and the exact quote is you mentioned players like Magic, Charles Barkley, Zeke, Isaiah Thomas, and so you mentioned all these players. You're like, I wanted to be like them, but I wanted to be like Mike.
Right.
And so, growing up, Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls, how did he not only just impact the way you played basketball, saw basketball, but just your mentality about going about things?
Just wanted to be the best. When I look at him now and when I looked at him then, I just saw the best. You know what I mean? I saw hands down the best. I saw a lot of great players, and I watched a lot of great players do great things, but to me, he was on another level. He stood out, amongst the rest. And, I idolized him. I wanted to be like him. He was just different. That's basically all I can say about Mike in so many words. He was just different.
Continuing on the talk of legends, Michael Jordan, guy right behind you right there, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace.
Definitely.
Legend, and so also a part of the 96 class. In an interview a couple years back, he called you one of the toughest players he's ever guarded, toughest players he's ever matched up against. So how was it like sharing the stage with him at the highest level?
It was as a competitor, is what you want in life. All across the board. You know what I mean? It's what you want. You know what I mean? It's easy to play against a pushover and have your way. But playing against somebody that's on the same level as you, competitiveness-wise, I mean, hands down, one of the top ever. And it was just exciting. It was fun. It was hard. It was grueling. You know what I mean? It was memorable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just one of the great experiences for me that I'll ever experience, and something that I cherish and remember for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Those wars were something that I'll never forget. You know what I mean? And it taught me a lot about who I am as a person. It taught me a lot as a player. You know what I mean? He gave me, those experiences that I'll take with me for the rest of my life, and definitely add to whatever else I want to do in life and be successful at.
Mm-hmm. And many people, including you, a lot of other NBA legends and players, have always talked about Kobe's insane work ethic. He did, like when everyone else is out there partying in the club, that man is in the gym. Next day, he wake up 3 a.m., he's in the gym. And so not only his work ethic, hard work, but also the type of mind games. He'd be learning other languages to trash talk you. So when going up against a guy like that, what's like, I know a lot of people probably ask you this, but what's one story, if you would just have, that would just describe what you think of Kobe?
I always go to the story about the first time I hung out with him in LA when we went out to eat, and it was late at night. We finished eating, and I told him I was going out to the club, and he said he was going to the gym. And
classic Kobe.
That's Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? That's who he is. And that's who he was. May he rest in peace.
Again, I want to continue a little bit on Kobe. Let's go to 2001. That's the year you won MVP, and so that season we're going to the first game of the NBA Finals. The Lakers are going undefeated, and they're with the Sixers. The Lakers obviously have Kobe and Shaq, and so that game one, which was actually 23rd anniversary a couple of days ago, but that game one, going up against a team that's undefeated, probably the best duo, one of the best duos in NBA history. I think the best duo.
I think the best duo.
I agree with you on that. So you're going up against them, and what's your mentality going into that game?
The same as I go into any other game. I played every game the same way. I played the same way regardless. Like even if I was playing pickup, I would play the same game that I would play in the finals. You know what I mean? I play the same way.
So
I always got butterflies. I was always nervous, regardless of what kind of game I was playing.
Yeah.
So that was nothing. That was nothing new. But preparation-wise, everything, like it was the same thing. Now I don't think like I did certain games during the regular season or whatever, like going out and party or anything like that. It wasn't none of that.
Yeah.
But as far as the mindset, it was the same thing. I play the game the same way every time.
Yeah, I respect that. A lot of other players actually are similar. Like people have talked about Luka in the same way. He's a guy, regular season game, EuroLeague game, scrimmage, don't matter. Finals game, he treats every game
Same way.
Same way. So that game, like you mentioned, mentality going in the same way. You go in there and you drop 48. You get the game one win. It's also the moment where you iconic step over on Tyronn Lue. And so going in and doing all that in that first game, obviously you're not satisfied, but how did it feel?
I'm old, so so thinking back that far, I was yeah, definitely. I was all I was thinking about is it was just one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's 3 more to go. That's all I was thinking about. I you know, and I didn't feel like I wasn't so excited about it because it was something that I felt we could do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was not saying it wasn't a big deal, but it was something that I expected.
Like personally, you expect that at some point in your career you're going to be in the finals. So it wasn't something where you'd be like, oh, let me take this in, because you know you're that.
No. I mean, and that's the. I think that's what people definitely should know when they do get the opportunity to play in the finals, because you do think once you go one time, you're going to go again and again and again. Unfortunately for me, in my squad, you know, it never happened again. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you gotta relish the moment, you know, right then. Like, you gotta look at it like this might be the last time that I ever, you know, be able to show up here again. So you gotta, you know, take advantage of it, you know, when it happens.
I'm a Raptors fan,
Right.
and so my squad, we never got back. Kawhi left after the season, and Vince Carter, he never got to the finals with us. You probably stopped that from happening.
Right.
And so that is true. Like, you never know. Like, I hopefully, we'll talk about this a little bit later. Hopefully Luka makes it to another one. We'll see how this one goes. I really hope he does, but you never know. And so I want to go talk about your relationship with the city of Philadelphia. You got your jersey retired 2013, 2014, and just earlier this year you got a statue. So how does it feel kind of embracing that city and being a big figure in that city?
Man, I love it.
Love Philly.
It's the biggest compliment for me to still have the relationship that I have with the people there. They were with me when I came in. You know, I was 21 years old, but I was still a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They let me grow. My ups and my downs. I failed so many times, got back up. All the bumps and bruises that I had off of the basketball court, they continued to support me throughout my maturation. And, you know, one thing about the fans there, they always supported me. And my thing was, every night, you know, I'll play every game like it's my last. I've done that since I was a little kid. And I think they appreciated my effort night in and night out, regardless if I had a good game or not. They knew that I was the one that was going to play the hardest on that basketball court every night. And the love that they had for me is the feeling is mutual. You know what I mean? I love those people. I love going back there. You know, it's always epic every time I, you know, come back into the city. You know, I feel the love and they feel the love for me.
And when you talk about Philly fans, it's like they're up there. If
The
not,
best.
They're
the best. The most passionate.
Most passionate, for sure.
Definitely. They're the best. I always say, I look at, you know, the way the fans look at LeBron in Cleveland and Michael Jordan in Chicago. I always feel like, you know, I have the best relationship, you know what I mean, from player to fans in the world ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I truly feel like that. We have a great relationship.
And the way you're there for Philly, or the same thoughts you have about Philly, the Philly fans have the exact same thoughts about you.
There you go. Couldn't have said it better. I gotta use that. Definitely gotta use that, because that's true.
All right, thank you. And so, talking about Philly, you've been there for a couple of this team's playoff games.
Right.
Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, they had James Harden a bit ago, but have you been able to develop a relationship with any of those players on the team right now?
I wouldn't say the best of friends, but obviously they know how I feel about them.
Yeah.
And they know that I care. They know that my championship aspirations and hopes, you know, getting closer to that feeling that I can, you know, goes through them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm the biggest fan. I'm the number one fan. And I really truly feel, that, by them winning the championship, in a strange way, that'll be the closest feeling that I'll get to winning one.
Yeah.
But I'll have some of those feelings. You know what I mean? I'll have a great feeling if that was to happen. So that's why I'm the biggest cheerleader, because I wanted to happen so bad for them, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? In a selfish way, I want it for myself too.
Yeah, because that's the city you rode behind.
Absolutely, and I think the fans deserve it.
The fans do deserve it.
The support system is oh my God, is there.
Yeah,
it's there. So I mean, when it comes to home court advantage or anything like that, we show up and show out.
I mean, the Eagles got one really recently. The Phillies been in there a couple of times. They got one about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about time the Sixers
Absolutely,
get one.
Absolutely.
What do you think is they've been close like this? The teams that they've been assembling the past couple of years, the coaches, phenomenal like roster construction.
Great coach.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Great GM.
Yeah.
President. I mean, we knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Just a couple more pieces, I think would be good.
What do you think they're missing?
I ain't going there.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But when you have Tyrese and Joel, anything's possible.
We definitely got the right Batman and Robin.
For sure.
We definitely got the right Batman and Robin. We can start from there, and then we put the rest of the pieces together. We gonna be all right. We got the right coach.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Nick Nurse is a guy who, his story is really cool. He coached in UK. He came up in the G League, and then he was an assistant with the Raptors and some other teams. First year with the Raptors, wins a chip. He's really good at like inspiring his players. Is one thing I've noticed as a Raptors fan. And then I was sad to see him leave to y'all in Philly.
Excellent coach.
And now y'all got guys like Kyle Lowry, who's worked with him before.
Right.
And so I think
Bulldog.
Yeah, I love Kyle Lowry.
I love Kyle.
Yeah, that's a guy who there's a game where he might score 5 points, but he's doing 5 times much more everything.
Right.
Getting a charge, getting a foul, putting a hand up. He does.
Yeah, you know a little something. You know a little something. I can tell you know a little something.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry. It's a Toronto legend, man.
That's right. That's right.
And I want to bring it back a little bit back to your career, and we'll go back to current NBA stuff a little bit later. But we're going to talk a little bit about off the court stuff. So David Stern was a commissioner during your time, and there was a lot of animosity and you got fined. I think it was $87,000 for dress code violations, and then you didn't let you release a rap album. A lot of stuff about that. So how does it feel when the commissioner sometimes went at you or maybe even targeted you?
It's water under the bridge. David Stern, may he rest in peace.
Yes,
me and him became real cool.
Okay.
Once with the end of my career and once I retired, we became friends. I love David Stern.
Okay.
Before he died, we definitely were on good terms. I mean, I was young, man.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of things that I'm not proud of. I had a lot of growing to do. And a lot of those things, thank God that rap album didn't come out because it was trash. With the dress code, I'm so happy that I took the beating for that, because it allowed guys now to express themselves the way they are doing now. I thought back then I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was actually dressing like the guys that I grew up with.
Yeah.
I really feel that that has a lot to do with expression. Everybody don't play the same on the basketball court, so why would everybody dress the same?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Everybody has their own personality. Everybody want to be comfortable in their own skin. So I thought it was worth it for me to take the beating that I took for everybody to be able to express themselves and dress the way they dress now.
And kind of building off that, looking at the NBA now, every time I hop on Instagram right before a game, you see all the fit pics, you see everything.
Absolutely.
And so, how does it feel to you personally when you see all these guys expressing themselves? How does it kind of feel to be like the originator, I guess?
I think it's dope. I think it's dope. I think it's cool, man. And I think it's great for the fans. It's just another dimension of the great NBA.
It's another way for the fans to see the players, the players.
Absolutely. Just get in more deeper into your favorite player, into your favorite players. You know what I mean? It's bigger than just what you see on the basketball court. Fans are fans, and fans want to know about their favorite players. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Their personal space is their personal space. But when the camera's on, then I think, the fans should have access to it.
And one thing I've been seeing like cool now is you're on a podcast right now, but a lot of NBA players, they've started releasing their own content instead of kind of going with like ESPN or going with like the already existing media. Draymond Green has a show, Paul George has one, JJ and LeBron, Steph Curry just announced one today. So how do you feel when you see all these players?
The creativity is beautiful because it's for the fans, man. People want to know certain things, man. People want you to talk about certain things. There's certain things that your number one fan want to ask you. It's things that they want to ask you. It's other things that they want to ask you besides things that the media asks you. You know what I mean, about just basketball.
Yeah.
A lot of times fans want to know about other things, and even with basketball, they want to know how you felt in certain situations.
Exactly.
And you know what I mean. They want to know about their favorite player, man. And I think it's important for us to give them that access. You know what I mean? Your personal business and your personal life is your personal life.
Yeah.
That should be off limits. And people shouldn't want to know things about that. But when it comes to, the game and, what you like, what you don't like, and, what makes you happy, what's fun, what you like to do besides basketball, and you know what I mean? Like, I think it's dope for fans to be able to, have an insider and know certain things about, their favorite player.
Yeah, for sure. I really enjoy watching those podcasts. They're really fun, knowing a lot about.
I like them. I'm thinking about it, man. I've been thinking about it lately.
Yeah.
But I know I know it's hard for what you do. You got to do your homework.
Yeah.
You got to, make sure you ask all the right questions, and you got to make it interesting, for the onlookers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot that you have to put into it. And I think, that my dedication has to be there for me, to try to do something like that. You know what I mean? It's just like when I was, playing basketball, the same effort that I put out there on the basketball court. If I do a podcast, I want to be able to put the same effort into it.
So hypothetically, but if you were to start one, would you do it like yourself, and then, or would you have like another NBA co-host to bring on? Yeah.
I talked I talked to a friend of mine, a comedian. I don't know if he want me to put it out there, so I'll leave it out. I don't know if he want me to mention it, but I reached out to one guy that I think would be perfect, and we'll see how it go. I never know what the future holds.
So this might be something we're seeing in the future. Allen Iverson's podcast.
Oh, definitely.
For sure.
I'm thinking about it, but like I said, if I do it, I'm gonna want it to be the best.
Yeah.
So obviously the work has to be there. I have to be willing to put in the extra hours to make it do what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be exciting for you if you do start something.
Yeah, I mean, but I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, if I decide to do it, like, you do yours by yourself.
Yeah, mine's not really a podcast. It's more like a YouTube channel where I talk about stuff.
Okay, so
it's a little bit different.
If I do it with someone, like, I would want, that person to be the dominant, and then me, like,
you'd be the co-host.
Yeah, I'll be like the co-host. I would rather it be like that, and then have somebody else with that personality and everything to be the most dominant figure in the whole thing, and then I just add my little 1-2 to it.
Okay, yeah, and if if it's a comedian, I think that's actually a perfect idea because if the comedian's kind of like the main person, they keep flowing, keep it fun,
right?
Add their stuff in. Yeah, it's exciting, man.
Yeah.
So right now, as we're speaking, Game 3 is tonight. NBA Finals are happening.
Mm-hmm.
Celtics are up 2-0. How do you think the rest of that series is going to go?
I have no idea. It depends a lot on Porzingis' health.
Yeah.
Obviously, the momentum should, swing Dallas's way because, besides the first game, really the Celtics dominated, but Dallas was able to knock that big lead down to 8 in the third quarter. So, they did some great things. Then the second game, they had an opportunity to win that game. You know what I mean? So
I think the second game, like that's the type of game Dallas should or could have won because the games Boston's been losing this playoff run is where they've not been shooting, like they're making the shots.
Yeah, that three point shot for them to shoot that bad from the three and then still get out of there with a win. I mean, that had to be tough on Dallas. But I mean, they're going back to Dallas, and I mean, home court is something else, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something else.
Even bigger than playoffs. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Period. Okay.
Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just being at home, you're just so much more comfortable. You know what I mean? Being at home. So, I want to just see a great series. You know what I mean? I don't want to see no sweep. You know what I mean?
No 5. I want to see some 6.
No, I want to see if I could have it my way to go to Game 7.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I love the talent level on both squads, and just being a basketball fanatic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's exciting for me. I can't wait for the night. You know what I mean? Go home and get my stuff ready, my food and everything, and kick my feet up, man, and enjoy myself. You know what I mean? The talent level on both sides, the superstars. Both superstars are great on both teams.
Yep.
So as a fan, this is what you want. You know what I mean? This is what the NBA is all about. That's why it's the best sport in the world.
Mm-hmm. For sure, and I'm definitely doing the same thing. Get my food ready, turn that game on. One thing I like really about this series for both sides is the importance of not only the superstars but the supporting cast.
Right.
I'd say so. For Dallas, guys like Daniel Gafford, Derrick Jones Jr., PJ Washington, Derek Blatt, a lot of them, right? And for Boston, that's more like I don't want to diss Drew Holiday by saying supporting cast, but the main two is Brown and Tatum, and Drew Holiday is a very important piece there.
Right.
Derek White.
I love Derek White.
Yeah.
I love Derek White.
He does a little bit of everything too. Yeah.
I love Derek White. The man can hoop.
Yeah, for sure. So it's gonna be exciting. I can't wait for that series. Hopefully, like you said, it goes to like 7. That would be. I think every basketball junkie out there would love for the series to go to 7.
So it's kind of like when Boston go up. You know, they go up 2-0. Now you hope Dallas wins 2. And then you just hope it go back and forth and end up Game 7.
No one knows what's gonna happen.
Because I mean, for me, I go for guys that, a lot of time with me, I go for guys that didn't win a championship or hasn't won a championship, you know what I mean? So they can get the feeling that I never had. You know what I mean? I just like to see new guys win it, you know what I mean? So for me, it'd be great just, to see Luka, win. It'd be great to see Tatum and Jaylen Brown win. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's all going to end up a good feeling for me anyway.
Regardless, both these teams are some of the best built teams, best players on the league.
Best coach
for sure.
For sure.
Kind of building off that question, we talked about Tatum, we talked about Luka. Who would you say in the next 5-10 years would you say are the next faces of the league as KD, Curry, Kawhi, and LeBron exit?
Definitely Luka.
For sure.
Definitely.
I love Luka, man.
Definitely Luka, Shea.
Yeah.
Obviously Embiid. I love Maxey.
Yeah.
Man.
There's a lot of them.
it's There's so many of them. Ant-Man,
Wemby,
Wemby, Ant-Man.
Jalen Brunson.
Oh my God, Jalen Brunson. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on. And then I hate when I do this.
And then not mention somebody's name.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, that goes with, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's the evolution of our game, because you can go on and on and on. You know what I mean?
About the favorite, there's the amount of talent in the league. You can name, you can make a top 50 list, and you keep switching back the names.
Absolutely.
And you can have honorable mentions, keep putting people in. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah. You know what I mean? De'Aaron Fox. It goes on. It goes on and on.
We could sit here for hours.
Yes.
And that's one thing what I love about the NBA too, more as a fan, and you also are in a fan perspective now, but you've kind of been there as a player. You've seen it as a superstar, but as a fan, kind of turn on TV and be like, I can select any one of these games, and I could. That's
why you need the package. You gotta have the package, man, because it's somebody to watch every night. It's somebody to watch every night.
Don't matter if it's Detroit or Washington. I'm watching some K kind of.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's somebody on every team that you can watch and get some excitement from.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's lovely being an NBA fan.
I forgot my man Chet too.
Oh yeah, Chet. Yeah, he's also extremely young too. Rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
He was real good this year. I want to talk about next Reebok. So obviously you joined Reebok as a signature athlete, and you've built a long-term partnership, or you've kept a good partnership with them.
Absolutely.
And now you and guy Shaq, he's the president of basketball for Reebok, and you're the vice president. So how's it been to first maintain that relationship with Reebok strong for almost now 30 years, and work with Shaq on that?
The relationship part of it is that's easy at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We've been around each other for so long. They know who I am. I know who they are, and we work together. You know what I mean? We're a team, and it will stay that way.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed and fortunate to have a support system like that with a company that believe in me, believe in who I am as a man, as an athlete.
Yeah.
It's definitely a blessing, you know, and then to be put in a position like that to just help. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
Is help, and then have a voice.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me. I don't have to be the one that had the last say so.
Yeah.
Just to have a voice, just to have an opinion.
Just being there in those rooms, just
an opinion. Just an opinion. I don't even have to be in a room. I can be on a conference call.
Yeah.
long as my voice is heard, you know what I mean? Or, so I can be able to sit and say, give my point of view, and and if it don't go my way, then I'm gonna support it.
Yeah.
And if it goes my way, and it turns out to be the right thing, I'm gonna say I told you.
Would you say there's any big things upcoming for Reebok in terms of potential signature athletes?
Man, we definitely we got our eye on some guys.
Yeah.
And some women.
Yeah, for sure. Nowadays with the WNBA expanding like crazy.
Definitely. You know what I mean? I mean they're must see TV.
Yeah.
And they need our support, and we're definitely gonna support them because they deserve it. You know what I mean? They put in the work. They work just as hard as we do. They want to be
100%.
They want to be who they want to be in life. They want to create their own legacy and their own legend, and they want to be remembered and honored for the things that they do excellent on the basketball court and off the basketball court. And they have so many, great players, and so many, beautiful women doing things off of the basketball court, just like they're doing great things on it. So I love it.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better. Perfectly kind of described like the evolution of the WNBA there, where we're at right now, and I can't wait for the game to keep growing and for
It will.
For sure.
It
And
will.
for any little girl to turn on the TV and see Juju Watkins, Caitlin Clark, any of Angel Reese, I'm probably forgetting 10 players, same way we named for the NBA.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
just to see one of those players and kind of get inspired and be like, this
the
is
inspiration is there for any young girl. The inspiration is there. It's enough of them out there that's doing everything the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For them to look up to. So
yeah,
it's there. It's there for them. The vision is there. Like the vision was for me with Michael Jordan. The vision is there for them. They have so many women to look up to
sure.
and to want to be like. The vision is there for them to know that they can be on that level and accomplish the same things that these great women are accomplishing.
Yeah, and just like how they have their idol, there will be a chance where they can play up against their idol, surpass their idol maybe, but it's definitely exciting times for the WNBA. Shift back a little bit back to your career. So after your long time in Philly, you're in Denver, you're with Melo, J.R. Smith, just to name some of the boys there. And so at that point, maybe whether that be your first season in Denver or any point in Denver, when did you know that you'd return to Philly for one last dance, I guess?
Oh, I didn't know.
You ain't know?
No. Nope. I thought it was over.
Really?
God make things happen. God do what he want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's up to him. He make all the choices. You know what I'm saying? And you believe in him and understand that he's the reason for everything that happens. It makes everything easier to understand in life. You know what I mean? You don't make no mistakes and you don't question them.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad it all worked out where you're able to go back, get a big ovation. You're able to finish your career in a very nice storybook way, I guess.
Right.
And so after your NBA career is over, you went overseas to Turkey to play with Beşiktaş. So was there any particular reason you went to Beşiktaş in Turkey, and how was your experience there?
I wanted to play basketball.
And then
I wasn't done, and I wanted to play. I love to play basketball, and the experience was great. I met some great people, met some great fans, loyal fans. And I got hurt. I just knew it was time to come back home.
And one thing I've seen about Europe, whether not just Turkey, Serbia, a bunch of those countries, Greece, those fans are extremely passionate. You look in the stands, you see a fire or something. Those fans are love.
Never seen nothing like it in my life. Totally different. It's totally different. It's night and day when it comes to the fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They chant all game long.
All game long.
Timeouts, halftime, it don't matter.
Energy
keep it going.
Match.
On and on and on, all throughout the game. It was a great experience for me.
Yeah. Next thing, so we've kind of wrapped up talking about the main points of career. Now I want to just talk about a couple things like the mental aspect of the game. So at what point, whether this be 10 years old, middle school, elementary school, high school, college, or even the NBA, did you know you were that guy?
Was never arrogant, never cocky. Was always confident. Yeah. And that was from day one.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do it, then I'm going to be the best at it.
Okay.
And I've always been like that. You know what I mean? If I'm going to try to do it, I want to be the best at it. I want to stand out as the best. Whether that was football or basketball, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the best player on the floor, regardless of if it was just my team or even the other team. I just wanted to be the best player, and that's just how I was. I always had confidence in myself. I was always like that.
And so you mentioned confidence, which is something that's very important in all athletes.
That's the number one.
Number one?
That's the number one. I think that's the number one attribute. You have to be confident in yourself. You know what I mean? If you ain't gonna believe in yourself, then who gonna believe in you?
Exactly.
So you gotta believe in yourself first. Like I said, it's not cockiness. It's not arrogance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just you believing in. It's the same thing as with Kobe. Kobe put in all that work, the way he put in all that work, why wouldn't he think that all that work is worth him believing that he's the best? He put in the work to feel that way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I think that's number one. I don't think there's nothing wrong with fear.
Yeah.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with fear. Like, I think fear in the sense of being scared to you know, you gotta be that fear. I think a lot of time helps, you know, because you want it so bad. And I'm not saying scared, but just that fear of losing. I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to lose. So
I think that's a good fear to have.
I think that's a great fear. Fear of don't be scared or have the fear of failing. You gotta try. You gotta get out there and try. You know what I mean? If you don't try, the fear of not trying, then that's a bad fear.
And so, kind of building off that, for any young hooper or any young adult, anyone doing anything who's struggling with confidence, but we'll keep it to sports. Any young hooper, what would you say is like, how would you build that confidence?
Build the confidence?
Yeah.
Gotta have it, man.
Gotta have it?
Yeah, you just gotta believe in yourself. I mean, you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta believe in yourself. I mean, that's the first thing. I mean, damn, how can somebody else believe in you?
Yeah.
If you don't believe in yourself? You know what I mean? If somebody trusts you and you don't trust yourself, then they don't got no business trusting you.
I mean, when you look at the NBA now, like a guy like Anthony Edwards, perfect example of what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Like the amount of confidence he has,
Mm-hmm.
and some people think it's arrogance or some people think it's cockiness, but it's
not.
It's pure confidence.
And then the crazy part about it is when you know it's not something that he's just putting on himself. He feels like that about his teammates.
Yeah. And
like the same confidence he has in himself, he has it in his teammates.
The way he's able to motivate some of his guys, like there was a clip I saw, they were in the huddle, and he was like, it's a 7-game series, and this is when the Nuggets had taken that 3-2 lead, and he was telling them it's a 7-game series, and the T-Wolves did end up coming back and winning in 7. So that's one thing I think in an athlete and also a leader it's really important, kind of having that confidence not only in yourself but in your teammates, so you believe that can happen.
You can't lead men or you can't lead women if you don't believe it yourself.
Yeah.
Because they'll see right through it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll see right through it. I mean, you know, people will see a phony.
Yeah.
You know, it'll show eventually. Somehow, some way, it'll show. You know what I mean? You can tell the true leaders. You can tell they are.
One thing I want to pivot to is also featuring Anthony Edwards, but it's a movie you were in a couple years ago. One of my recent favorite basketball movies, Hustle, featuring Adam Sandler, a bunch of legends in that movie. So how was it kind of just to be a part of that movie? Your role in the movie was you were doing like an Instagram live.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, my part was so easy, short and easy. But you know, I love Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's my guy. You know, we text back and forth all the time. And he wanted me to be a part of it, and I'm a big fan. You know what I mean? He's a big fan of mine, so it's a no-brainer for me.
It's that mutual respect you have for each other.
Absolutely.
And I think the movie is great, kind of showing the story of Juancho Hernandez, Bo Cruz, kind of moving up the ranks as like a foreign NBA prospect, moving up, getting drafted. It was a really cool movie.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah.
And can act too.
Oh, and for sure can act. I saw he took some acting lessons, but still, like the whole persona that he had in the movie.
He's nice.
It's like
his personality is like that anyway.
It's like Ant regularly.
Yeah, exactly. That was a perfect role for him.
And his role.
But I think he can do other things too. I know he can.
Yeah. I think with the confidence he has, I think Ant could.
He can do anything.
Ant could do anything. That's a guy, like we said, trip to the finals. I'd love to see him make a trip to the finals.
It'll happen.
It'll happen, yeah. with the team they got around there. It'd just be they're pretty
Matter of
close.
time.
Yeah, matter of time. And so yeah, this is gonna be exciting. And another one of the big like future stars of the league.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Hands down.
And so right when you were in your prime is when a rookie LeBron James entered the league. And so when like I know LeBron had played in some like runs with some NBA players, I know like the amount of hype that was there for LeBron is probably no one's had that much hype since recently we saw Wemby had some insane hype. How was it as a player seeing this new guy who's about to come in and had the chance to be one of the best, if not the best?
How was it?
Yeah, like going up against that guy.
I don't want to say it was just another game or anything, but because he is legendary. LeBron is going to be on. Well, he's already on the Mount Rushmore basketball player. So, coming in, you knew about the hype and all that. I went to one of his high school games, so I already knew who he was or whatever. But he turned out exactly what the hype was incredible, but it was well deserved.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was he was hyped up for a reason.
I mean, I'd even say he did better than the hype.
He did.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
he did better than the hype. He did. Everybody expected him to be the chosen one, and he lived up to that name. I mean, everybody. He is definitely the king.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So all the accolades, all the anything that as far as the hype and any credit you want to give him, any praise you want to give him, is well deserved all around the board, on the court, off the court. You know what I mean? He's created a blueprint for so many young kids to follow and be successful in life. And I'm not just talking about basketball.
Yeah.
He did it the right way, and he's doing it the right way. He's continued to.
I mean,
so I'm looking forward to seeing how he finished up, and and I'm definitely wanting to see, Bronny put his stamp on the NBA too.
Yeah, Bronny and Bryce, that's going to be
definitely, and Bryce.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Yeah. And when you talk about LeBron, I mean, that's a guy now near 40, but the stuff he's done, not only in his career, like on the court, he's kept like such a good like training regime. He eats super healthy. He keeps his body so well, and he also plays at such a high level at this age. And then off the court, some of the things you're talking about, like he started a school in Akron. He does a lot of things for charity, and he's a very big role model, I guess, or a person you can look up to for a lot of young athletes. Like LeBron James is the prototype or the blueprint, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, like you said, Bronny is. It's gonna be interesting to see where Bronny gets drafted. I know some people saying late second round, some people saying early first round. So it's a pretty wide range. But I think Bronny can make his own career kind of. And I know being in LeBron's shadow must be one of the hardest things.
That's right. And there you go. And now we're talking about his character and who he is.
Yeah.
That says a lot about who Bronny is, because with that type of, I mean, how hard that has to be to follow that act or to try to even come close to it. You know what I mean? But that's not something he's concerned about. He got his own life. He got his own career, his own future. And that's what you respect about him. That's what you love about him, because that don't deter him from trying to do what he want to do in life. And that has a lot to do with LeBron too, and it has a lot to do with Savannah and the rest of their family. You know what I mean? With how they raised him. You know what I mean? That's the parenthood is showing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, when it comes to him. So, man, good luck to the young man, man. I just want to see him do great things. I just want to see him, succeed in all the ways that he won in life, and enjoy himself, enjoy his life, and have a great career. I
mean, the fact that he's got to the point where he is right now, I mean, think about 10 months ago, he had very unfortunately a cardiac arrest. The way he was able to bounce back, even play basketball his freshman year at USC. And I think while a lot of people might be hating on Bronny right now, I think it's unfortunate.
And people hate on everybody.
Yeah, it's
so
true.
I mean, what are you gonna say?
Yeah.
I don't even know a person that don't have a hater. That man is a fighter.
Yeah.
And I love him for it.
Yeah. So it's gonna be exciting. I know Bronny's gonna carve his own path and be the best possible basketball player and best possible person he can. And it's gonna be exciting to see what he can do in the future and with Bryce as well. Next, I want to kind of talk into more of what's kind of coming up for you. So you have a new documentary coming up, produced by two legends, Shaq and Steph Curry. So tell the fans a little bit more about what to expect or how to tune into that.
Just a documentary.
You
know,
just telling
stay
your story.
tuned. Just telling my story.
Yeah.
My family telling my story.
Mm-hmm.
From their perspective, their feelings, their heart. How they felt about different situations. I haven't seen it, so I don't know what they've talked about or anything like that. I'm just busy doing that, shooting that, and then writing my book, finishing up my autobiography, and that's about it.
So it's gonna be exciting to see that documentary come up. You mentioned your autobiography. Tell me, what was the inspiration for you to get started on an autobiography?
Just telling it my way.
Telling it your way.
Everybody tell their own story about me.
Mm-hmm.
I get to tell my truth about things that I want the people that support me and that love me and my fans to hear it from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? About different things, different subjects. I'm not doing it to explain myself or anything like that or anything. I'm just talking to my fans and talking to my supporters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's about it. Talk about things that they might not know.
Mm-hmm.
I get in depth about some things that I haven't talked about in life, to where people wouldn't know besides my close knit family and friends. But it's some things that I wouldn't mind sharing with my fans.
Mm-hmm. And when is that autobiography still in the works right now as we're talking?
It's in the works.
It's in the works.
I mean, I'm still writing.
Still writing. So definitely excited to read that too. For the fans, kind of learn more about who you are besides what they've already known.
And then they come up
yeah.
Just the early days. You know what I mean? It's gonna be different. definitely different. It's different because it's so many things in there. I would say 90 to 95% of the things you won't. It's things you never heard before.
Wow. Okay, so this is like a complete different.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that somebody asked a question about and then I responded and nothing like that. A lot of this stuff is personal, in a sense of me doing it, not just to share it with people because letting them know my story. It's things in my story that can help people.
Yeah,
I feel like it's so many things that if I do decide to open up about a lot of different things, I think a lot of people will learn from it. But that's not, my objective or my goal. My goal is for at least one person to learn from it and then help them in their life.
Yeah.
As long as I get to that one person, I'm fine.
That one person, and that's I think talked about this, but the importance of kind of having a stage or having a presence. You have the capability or ability to do something really cool like that, and when it does work out, and like you said, when at least one person gets influence,
might save somebody's life.
Yeah, it might
you know what I mean?
Completely turn it around for somebody.
Might save someone's life. Might turn someone's life around. Might one of my bad experiences can turn someone's bad experience into some that they overcome.
Yeah, so it's a very powerful message, powerful objective, and I think it's going to be great for all the fans, all the readers to learn. Like you said, 95% of it is something people can take away, can learn from. So it's great to hear.
Yep.
yeah, I just want to say it's been a real pleasure talking to Allen Iverson, a legend, on my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot, man, for coming out, taking your time out of your day to do this.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
it was great talking to you again. Right?
You too.
All right, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.